Hello, happy Saturday. I'm letting Instagram tell you guys that I am live. So if you clicked on this by accident, please stay. We got 2 minutes before we go live. All right, Operation Sexy Body is live. We in here, y'all. Hey, happy Saturday. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Okay, as you guys come in, please say hey so I know you're here and you're ready to talk. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome. We have 2 minutes, actually 1 minute now, because I am going to always start promptly at whatever time we set. Hey, Aries mom. I'm always going to start on time because I'm respectful of your time. I never really understood why people like, oh, I'm going to wait a couple minutes for more people to join. I'm like, whoever is here is here. Hey, I am Dor Black. Hey, Shara Ramsey. Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. If you click this by accident, please stay. I always say that because, sometimes you'll be scrolling. Hey, now. Sometimes you'll scroll and you'll hit something and you'll click right back off. But hopefully you guys will officially stay. Put me on speakerphone. Put me on hands-free. Put your earphones in. Grab you some water. Did my kids bring my water in here? Yes, they did. Praise them. Dorsha. Okay, Dorsha. Welcome. Marie Griffin. Hey. Leslie Lady Fox. Happy New Year, guys. It's 11:59. We're going to get promptly started right at, I'm seeing some new names in the chat, so I'm excited that you're here. I see some familiar names and faces, so I'm glad to have you guys here as well. I am glad to have you in. It is 12 o'clock, so I love the hearts. I see you guys. I am officially starting. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first OSB Connection, formerly known as Sexy Chats. Happy 2026. I am Lynnette Williams, aka OperationSexyBody, and I'm really glad you're here. I am a lifestyle coach, a female empowerment coach, and my whole goal is to help women all across the United States and the world lead a healthier and fulfilling life. And it is my personal belief that the dedication, the focus, the adjustments that you make to your nutrition and fitness life parallel other adjustments that you need to make in your other parts of your life. And it makes you a happier, more whole person, not only for you, but for others around you. So welcome. As you come in, just say hey. For those of you who get to watch this on replay, thank you for taking the time to watch it. I will not belabor you. My goal is to spend about 30-ish minutes with you to give you, today may be a little bit longer because I'm going to do housekeeping at the end. So housekeeping notes are going to be talking about my committed sweatshirts, going to be talking about the private accountability group that will start up next month. Just some housekeeping notes. So, hey, Ashley. Ashley, it's a little inside joke. She changed her name and I called her somebody else. She was like, no, it's Ashley. I was like, oh, hey, girl. So I'm glad to have you all here. Let's get started. So today is going to be talking about identity and how identity shapes our goal setting. And I thought this was a very appropriate conversation to have on the first OSB connection. Oh, let me pause. Let me rewind a little bit. Usually for the last couple of years on the first of every single month, we would gather together and have a conversation just like this. It would be virtual. It would be open to everybody. That is not going to change. What will change is the format, the dates, and things like that, which I'll get to later. But it's a great opportunity because it's a great opportunity for me selfishly to engage with you a little bit more than I can in DMs, or for you to get to know a little bit more about what Operation Sexy Body is. The name is kind of misleading. The name would make you think that it is something aesthetic, that's something that you have to ascribe to be, that there is a certain size, shape, weight requirement, and it is not. It is everything but that. Sexy, Operation Sexy Body came from a time in my life where I was obese. And I didn't know what to do. So I literally Googled. Some of you all have heard this story. Hey, Candace. Some of you all have heard this story, but it came at a time in my life where I was depressed and I didn't know I was depressed. And some of you all may identify with being a functional depressant. How you go through everyday life, people see you smile, you go through your day to day, but silently. And when you are in your own element with yourself, you kind of don't really know where you fit in. And the doctor was like, you're obese. And I said, I was offended because labels hurt. If we get a label, which is what we're going to talk about today, identity. If we get a label that we don't identify with, we instantly react with attitude, with defensiveness. And that's what I did. And I Googled, well, how do I be sexy? Because I'm fat now. So how do I get sexy? And all of these pictures came up of these women, these super enhanced women, these women with like really long hair, and basically everything came up that just didn't look like me. And I really wanted something that I could identify with and that I thought other people could identify with. So Operation Sexy Body was birthed, and it's mind, body, and lifestyle. So it's how you think. You know, thinking of yourself in high esteem is sexy. When you walk into a room and your head is held high, I don't care if your hair is done. You could be having a broke nail, your toenail polish chipped on the way in. That is sexy, to walk in an embodiment of being happy and confident in who you are. Getting from where you want to be and enjoying the journey until you get to closer to where you want to be, because none of us will never really arrive. We all have these goals, which is what we'll talk about today. We always have these goals of where we want to be, what we want to do, how much we want to weigh, what we want to look like. And so we kind of lose the joy in the journey. So Operation Sexy Body is the joy in the journey. And it has resonated with me selfishly. And I think that it has resonated with a lot of you all, hence why this is my 15th year. This September will be 15 years that I have been preaching the same gospel, that I lost my weight, have kept it off with 2 kids and postpartum and life and grief and sadness and happiness and travel and all the things. And so identity came as an opportunity to talk to you about how you see yourself. And do you have a true and accurate picture of what you look like without describing you? Do you know how you identify? So hence, welcome to those of you all who are new. We do this every single month, so always stay tuned. And I would also ask that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Operation Sexy Body with the Y. All right, so I have my notes here because I tend to get off track. And I have a lot of information to share with you guys. So I'll be checking the chat every so often because I do want you to engage. So if you are in a space and a place that you can engage, whenever you can do that, please do. All right. Today's conversation is really close to my heart because it's the mechanism of how we get to sustainable change. And you all may identify with the goal that you've had in your life, that you meet the goal and then you kind of fall off. It doesn't have to be weight or nutrition focused. It could be productivity at work. It could be, senioritis, right? Like when seniors or their second semester, senior years, like they don't want to do any work, it's just kind of like whatever. And so that tends to happen toward the end of this year because, it's the holiday season. It's gloomy outside. It's cold. We want to eat our feelings. We have all kind of parties and our schedules are disrupted. Kids are at home. It's like, ugh, right? And so we can tend to focus on all of the things that aren't ideal. But I want to talk about real sustainable change and how you can weather any storm. The last conversation we had was about seasons. If you did not hear that conversation, head over to YouTube because that was a really good conversation when we talked about the seasons of life, like the winter, spring, summer, fall of it all, and how each season, going into one season, coming out of a season, and being in a season requires different things. But today we're talking about identity, and we talk a lot about goals and what we want. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to, get in this dress. I want to, XYZ. And we always talk and focus on goals. Today in our identity conversation, I want to talk about habits. Now, we have had a separate conversation about habits, but we're going to tie this conversation of habits into our identity. And it behooves us to really consider a different alternative because for most of us who are of a certain age, right? Most of you guys are over 30. We know who we are, or we think we do, right? We know how we identify. We know how we show up. We know our reputation. Like we know this, or do we? So for today's conversation, I would invite you to potentially shift the way that you see yourself. Not the way that others see you, but the way that you see yourself and how you identify, okay? We're going to talk about what we want, not the goals, but we're going to talk about our habits, what we want in our habits to get us to the goal that we want, how we get there, and we're going to identify the who, which is you. We're going to identify that. And before we start, I'm glad you said that TSD 39.1. I want you to say that one more time because I'm going to ask you guys. Before we look forward, I want us to look inward. Okay? We can't look ahead. We can't know where we're going unless we know where we start. Any GPS will tell you, where is your destination? Do you want to start from here or do you want to start from another location? So we're going to talk about forward, but before we get there, we want to look inward. Who are you becoming? Is the question that I want to ask you. You don't have to answer necessarily, but if you do, feel free. And the only sucky thing about Instagram is that it does not keep your comments. But hopefully, eventually, I can migrate all y'all over to YouTube and we can have this conversation on YouTube. But who are you becoming? Not what do you want to do, but who do you want to be this year? And you can feel free to comment or pause, or if you want to take notes for yourself to come back later, I invite you to do that. If you want to come back, what I always tell people is whatever question is asked and you want to go back to it, look at the minute mark and kind of go back to that minute mark later so you can go straight to the question so you don't have to like scrub all the way through. So if you don't feel comfortable necessarily answering right now, you can always come back to this video. You can always go to the replay on YouTube to engage in the community connection over there so that your comments can be saved. But who are you becoming in 2026? Cheryl says she wants to become consistent. D. Bell says, I am becoming a woman who reaches for her BMI. Ms. Living for Today says, after a hysterectomy in early November, I've just found myself in a state of laziness and constantly caught in a mind state tailspin. That's real. That's real. Because your whole life has been disrupted. Your whole being has been not only physically, right, but psychologically, biologically, all of the leads that you can think of, it is disrupted and changed. And so now you have to navigate that. So that is real. Leslie says, I'm a woman who understands her boundaries and doesn't look for approval and validation. Yes, Leslie. Snap. I want to stay healthy and I want to make justifiable sacrifices to accomplish 2 goals I have made for myself. TSD 39.1. Love that. Dorsha says, I want to be confident and consistent in reaching my goals. Ashley says, I'm becoming a woman who's focusing more on stewarding what God has already given me and understanding why he gave it to me. I love that. Sassy TL73 says, a woman that focuses on health and authenticity. This year, I want to focus less on the scale number and more on consistent habits. Well, you are in the right space, sis. Hey, Selena, I'm becoming a person to say no without explanation. Ooh, that's a good one. So thank you guys for commenting. All right, so you guys are already on the right track for our conversation today. And whatever you typed in the chat box, even if you're live or watching it on replay, I want you to write that somewhere else. Because I want you to write whatever you wrote or whatever you thought or whatever you're thinking. And I want you to write the date. Because that's going to be important for you later on. Okay. All right. So let me go over kind of like our to-dos for today. And we're right on time. So I feel really good about it. We'll start by exploring the connection between who we are, who we believe we are, and the actions that are tied to that identity. We'll look at a way to build habits, not from the outside in, like not external locus of control, but from the inside out. We'll connect directly to the goals that get us excited. And we'll share a way that we can do this a little bit deeper, on a deeper level. So today is not to solve all of our issues. It's just to kind of turn the lights on in a few rooms where the lights have been turned off or dimmed. Okay. Metaphorically speaking. All right. So I want you to think about this. Think about a goal that you've struggled with. It could be weight. Most times it's weight, right? Like weight is like that annoying mosquito at the barbecue. It just keeps coming around. No matter what you do to get rid of it, it just keeps coming around. So, but it may not be weight for you, right? But let's just hypothetically, you pick your own goal that you have struggled with. Oh, the note I wrote is fitness or launch a business or create more calm. Those are the three things of the people that I've worked with. Those are the three things that come up the most: losing weight, creating a business, and get more peace in their life. Their life is chaotic for whatever reason because they have no systems. They have no habits, or they have habits, but these habits that they have are not sustaining the life that they want or the life that they desire themselves to have. All right, Aries Mom, I see you, fitness. Okay, so often when we have a goal that we've struggled with, we jump straight into action. So if it's fitness, I want to, exercise this amount. I want to lose this amount of weight. Those are the types of things that come up when we say we have a goal, right? Leslie says health and fitness. Okay. But what happens when it gets hard? Then it's, oh, this is too much. I want to sleep in. I don't feel like doing this. I need an accountability partner. I can't do this by myself. And the shift that I encourage us to take is not about the action that we need to do. The conflict is at the level of identity. How do I identify with the goal that I am trying to do or that I desire to do? If it's fitness, because that's the example that I get the most, people want to be more consistent in the gym. People want to work out X amount of days. A part of you sees yourself as someone who doesn't exercise. A part of you sees yourself as someone who just does it for aesthetics, for your doctor told you to. You don't enjoy it. It's not fun. You don't look forward to it. It's another chore. It's another stress, something else you add to your plate. So you have all these great goals and identities saying, yes, it's the new year, especially now, right? It's the new year. I'm excited about working out. I'm excited about eating right. And then somebody invites you out to dinner and you go out to dinner and you have way too many drinks. You have way too many breadsticks. And then the workout that you planned for the next day doesn't happen because you don't feel like it. The problem is not the breadsticks or the alcohol or the dinner. The problem is your actions don't identify with a person who says that health and fitness is of an utmost priority to me. Are there circumstances and situations where it happens? Absolutely. I'm talking in general umbrella statements. Take what you need, leave the rest, okay? But when you identify with something that you truly believe in, that you truly want, that you would fight to get, nothing can stop you. No one can stop you. Nothing. So why is it that when it comes, for lack of more examples, but just because we're here together, why your fitness goals are so whimsical, are so easily tossed to the side? It's not a question to answer, but just a question to think about, okay? When I'm thinking about the next question, well, the first question that I want to ask you is, what's holding you back? Again, you don't have to answer unless you want to. But what is holding you back from this goal of being more physically fit, or whatever the goal is. Like, what is holding you back? Is it fear of judgment? I had a lady tell me, she says, well, so if you don't know, every year I set a number of days of working out that I want to do in that particular year. I invite you guys to do it. It's a great way to stay accountable. It's a great way. If you don't meet the goal, if you far exceed the goal, if you barely make the goal, the fact ain't making the goal. It's to be more mindful of the goal and to pattern your actions of consistency to meet that goal, because you already have it. When you don't make that goal, you don't have anything to look forward to. You don't have a barometer of success. You just do as much as you can. And the lady told me, she said, well, I don't want to make a goal because if I don't hit it, I'll feel like a failure. And that's real. I mean, that's real. And my conversation with her was about how she identified, like, do you consider yourself a failure? Like authentically, like when you think of yourself, do you think like I'm a failure? Her question was no, of course not. She's highly successful in her field. She is wildly popular. She is a joy to be around. One of the best clients as far as like setting goals and meeting goals that I've had. So why are you afraid of setting a goal that you won't meet? And so we began this long conversation about like identifying with being a failure. And so we kind of peel back the layers, and it was some family stuff from childhood and young adulthood that kind of planted the seed of failure and the fear of failure and the judgment of failure way deep inside. So all of this external success and all of these accolades and all of these certifications and all of these certificates and all of these degrees that others deem you as successful, you still see yourself as a failure. And I'm sure some of you can identify with the judgment of it all. Right? So, all right. So the first question is, what's holding you back? 7 times out of 10 is you. You're holding you back. Now, there are a few circumstances where it's like literally logistics and circumstances and red tape. Those are certain circumstances like, hey, I've done everything that everything that I could have done in this situation. And I'm trying to get this from this, and I have to wait. Right? Okay. But 7 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, it's us that's holding us back, right? All right, so the first question is, what's holding us back? Simply Complex T says, me standing in my own way. Real. So you in the majority. Aries Mom ×3 says, me, period. Yep. And the more honest we can be with ourselves about who is standing in our way, what is standing in our way, how do I identify, the better off we'll be. But we live in a society where we're judged on everything, and I don't care what people think. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. Maybe not to the degree that you want to feel, but you care. You care about what people think, or else you would just set the number. Or else you wouldn't care about if you failed over and over again. But you care. Leslie laughing. You care. All right. So the first question is, what's holding you back? So another example that I have for you is, I want to flip the script and give you an example, right? Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, which is goal focused, right? A marathon is 26.2 miles, or I want to run a half marathon. I've literally said these words out of my mouth. Like, I've run 2 half marathons. I'm like, so technically I've run a marathon. If you add both of them together, that don't count. I said, I want to run a marathon. And then I started looking at the training schedule. I said, there's no way. Okay. I like my knees too much and my toenails. Anyway, focus, Lynnette. Where is your note? Okay. I want to run a marathon that is goal focused. I need to think, you need to think, we need to think, I want to become a runner. That's how I identify. I am a runner. And I had to, when I was kind of making my notes, I was like, well, what? I'm like, goal versus identity. Like, what goals have I set for myself? And I literally have said that I want to run a marathon, but I'm not a runner. Oh, gosh. I just blew it right there. Instead of saying I want to work out X amount of days in this year, I want to become more consistent so that your habits aren't trying to meet this goal. Because hypothetically, if you say, I want to work out 200 days this year, I want to work out 300 days this year, I want to work out 365 days this year. Well, when you have a 5 o'clock flight, that's 12 hours, and you have to work out before you leave because by the time you land, it's going to be tomorrow and you're going to miss a day. That means you get up at midnight. You crazy. I ain't doing that. Okay. I had all y'all in my DMs calling me crazy because that's a real story. That truly happened. I said, I want to work out 365 days this year. I had done it once before. I came close last year or year before last. They all run together now. And I said, I want to do it again. And I was like, Dad, we got a flight at 5. Like, we have to be there at 5. So, I mean, the flight leaves at 5. So we have to be there at like 3, which means we have to leave home at like 2:30, which means like, so I'm doing the math and I'm like, there's no way. That's crazy. So when I posted the time, y'all were like, you crazy. I can't believe. Is that a real time? Yep, it's real. And it wasn't, I'm very proud of that, right? But it wasn't just about making the number, although it was about making the number. It was about the commitment that I made to myself because I identify as a loyal person. I am a consistent person. So my loyalty isn't just to people, it's to myself. I'm a loyal one. You down with me? I'm down with you. I'm a consistent person. Anywhere between 3 and 4 a.m., y'all gonna see me on here saying good morning to y'all. It's not because I enjoy looking at myself at 3 o'clock in the morning or listening to myself talk, but the consistency that the habit of being consistent provides me the opportunity to be more disciplined in every area of my life. And that for me right now is the only time that I can fully commit to. So you can be consistent when it's easy. But when you got a 5 o'clock flight, that consistency bug is like, hey, sis, you still consistent? Because if you're not, it's going to show up right now. All right. So the first question is, because I'm long-winded, y'all. I ain't even got to part 2. All right. Let me hurry up. All right. So question number 1 is, what's holding you back? Question number 2 is, who is the person that you need to become to achieve the goals that y'all just typed to me? Thank you, Leslie. She says you were so inspiring. Thank you. But in an attempt to be consistent, I came off as inspiring, which wasn't my goal. So had I said to myself, I want to inspire others, that wasn't my goal. My goal was to be consistent, and in the consistency and in the obedience, I became inspiring. So I don't identify as inspiring. I identify as being consistent and obedient and committed, right? That's how I identify. So when you think about what you identify as, the ancillary adjectives and accolades and ministry that you provide to others in your life becomes authentic and genuine, because you can tell when somebody is not genuine, right? You can tell when somebody's doing it for the likes and for the clicks and for all the shares and all of it all. It is sheer grit to do some of the things that I find myself doing because I identify as loyal and committed Ashley says, oh, Miss JNT, hey girl. She says, repeat number 2. I sure will. Ashley says, being obedient to reaching for my Bible instead of my phone in the morning. Yep. We can have a whole nother conversation about obedience. Maybe that'll be February. Okay. All right. So repeat. Question number 1 is, what is holding you back? And question number 2, who is the person you need to become to achieve the goals that you guys have typed here? Okay. All right, let me search really quick to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Oh, the Queen Vita 12 says, my issue is procrastination. And then when I finally go into the gym, I'm lost as to what to do to make the session sufficient and successful. You are not the only one. Just super quick, your issue isn't procrastination. That's not your issue. I think your issue is you don't want to be there. So you don't want to do the steps that it takes to be successful when you do get there. And you're going because you feel like you have to, and that's what you're supposed to do. Maybe the gym isn't your jam. Maybe it's a walk outside. Maybe it's group fitness. Maybe go to the gym only when they have your favorite group fitness class. Maybe it's finding a group fitness class that you enjoy. Maybe it's swimming. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's, working out at home with a virtual community. Like I have so many like memberships, y'all, like it is wild. But I don't have a gym membership. I don't have time to go to the gym because no gym opens at 3:00 in the morning. If they did, I wouldn't have time to drive there. But your issue is not procrastination. I know she probably like, I ain't saying nothing else to her. But I love you. I love you. I'm telling you because I love you. And nobody else is going to tell you that. It's not procrastination, sis. It's not. You don't want to be there. And so when you get there, you like, whatever. All right, let's see what else I missed. And then I'll move on. Honey Bee says, maybe it's turning your favorite music playlist dancing, like First Lady says. Oh, yeah, I give me a good playlist, child. I give me a good playlist, and I go to town. I have so many. I have a liked thing on Spotify. I have my favorite stations on Pandora. Selena says, I need to be consistent and obedient to myself to be productive and organized at work. Okay, so that's a goal, right? But do you identify as an organized person? Because it's not work specific. Are you organized at home? I mean, that's not a question for you to answer. That is a question I'm proposing to you, right? Dorsha says, I had to accept that reality. I do best working out at home with Apple Fitness or Grow with Joe. That was something that you found for you to be successful, right? You said, so your answer to the question is, what's holding you back is what was holding you back was the pressure of having to go to the gym to get fit. You do not have to go to the gym to be fit. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back. Turn me up. You do not have to go to the gym to be fit. Especially with AI and in the virtual world, there are so many options for us to be fit, but we have to be committed. We have to be disciplined. And most of all, we have to be honest with ourselves. What are your fitness goals? What are your life goals? Are your actions aligning with them? Because what is the purpose of going to the gym and hate every minute while you're there? Because the second you don't have to go to the gym or the second it's traffic, you're like, I'm turning around and going home. You're looking for any reason to not do what you say you want to do, but you don't want to do it. Selena, you want to be more organized at work? You can. You just don't want to be. And not like that, right? But you want to be more organized at work? What systems do you need to put in place to be more organized? Period. Not at work, not at home, not at, the side gig. Like, no. How do I become a more organized person? Is it lists? Is it automation? Is it a virtual assistant? Is it setting alarms? Like, what would make me more consistent in my organization? Aries mom says, heading to cancel my membership today. I absolutely hate it. Don't do nothing you hate, sis. Don't do it. Do not do it. And you know what that's going to do? So not only are you canceling the membership, you're canceling the pressure, you're canceling the anxiety, you're canceling the depression, you're canceling all of the symptoms that do not align with your goal to get fit. Margaret and Grant. Hey, Margaret. She says, I make up in my mind that everyone else will be okay while I see to myself first. That is a identity that you have made for yourself. I am priority. And it is such a taboo thing to say for moms to put themselves first. Oh, how dare you? How dare you put yourself first? How dare you tell them children to go back upstairs or go back to their room until you finish doing what you're doing? I tell my kids all the time, they came downstairs today. Are you hurt? Are you sick? Are you bleeding? No. Go back upstairs. I'm later. Mommy, you're supposed to be, I know. I'm supposed to be upstairs, but I'm not. I'm on winter break too. I'm sleeping in. All right, let me get to the good stuff. All right, let me get to the good stuff. All right, so let me repeat. Question number 1 that you need to ask yourself is, wait, I done lost my notes now. All right, what is holding you back is your first question. Question number 2, who is the person you need to become to achieve the goals that you typed here or achieve the goal that you have in your head, okay? Chantrice, I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Chantrice, I hope I'm saying that right. How are you able to shift your mindset towards the food that you ate? My biggest struggle is not working out, ironically. Well, here's the thing. Food and nutrition are kind of like, well, they're not kind of, to me, they are brother and sister. So they're not the same person. So they're not one, but they are forever connected. They will always be forever connected. And you cannot be successful in one without being successful in number 2. And I see people all the time that are killing themselves in workouts and eating horribly, drinking way too much, not eating foods that their bodies adapt well to, digest, process very well. And it goes way beyond aesthetics. Like, I initially did not work out because I wanted to be a certain size. I just didn't want to be obese. Like, I didn't want to be fat. I'm like, I was so offended. I cannot tell y'all the level of offended I was when that doctor told me I was fat. And I'm not, no, he did not tell me I was fat. He told me I was obese. And I was close to 200 pounds. And I am 5'3" and a third, 5'4" on a good day. And I was offended, and I didn't identify with being obese. And so I know this is a very long answer to your very simple question, but it ties into what we're talking about today. I didn't identify with being obese. I didn't identify with being fat. I wanted to identify with a person. I did not want to be a statistic. I knew eventually I wanted to have kids. So I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be healthy. So in health, you have to find your own path to it. But I'm like, okay, health is a balance of fitness and nutrition. Sometimes you can work out way too much and not have your proper nutrition. Sometimes your nutrition can be on point, but you have no fitness level. And that happens, right? Some people are so strict and regimented about their food. They take their food everywhere. They don't eat if they go out and it's not an off-plan meal day. They drink moderately or not at all. So when you have nutrition goals, you feel more apt to move your body. You're not gonna be moving your body and you eating like crap. you're just not going to do it. And I can tell y'all, this is the third day of our 3-day fast. My husband does this thing called Master Faster. For the last 3 years, we do a 3-day fast together. They're different levels. I've been doing a water fast, and my body did not feel bad. I was a little sore here and there. But when I tell you, like, the first day was rough, okay? I'm off topic, and I'm going to get back on topic, I promise. First day was rough, but day 2 and 3, baby, my body is like, thank you. I've been having this lower SI pain for the last couple of weeks. I've been going to the chiropractor more often. I've been getting my stretches as normal, but it never really seemed to like get better. I'm wearing my orthotics. I have custom orthotics that I wear in my shoes. I always wear like insoles. Like if I don't have my workout orthotics on, I have on like Birkenstocks, which are supportive shoes. I never wear flip-flops. Anyway, doing all the things. Day 1 of the fast, that pain is gone. And it's just inflammation, but it's just a sign. So, okay, I know I went all around the mulberry bush. This is why I have notes. But the point is, what keeps me eating what I know to eat is realizations like that. Because I know as I get older, not only do I want to be fitter, like I'm not working out for the 40-ish year old me. I'm working out for the 50-ish year old me, the 60-ish year old me. Like I want to be healthy and fit and evolving and aging gracefully until I'm out of here. And to be able to do that, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices on the back end. And I'm showing our children that this is normal. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle. So I identify as a consistent person. So I choose consistently good nutritional and fitness habits. So it's not just siloed. Okay. I'm going to read y'all's comments and I'm going to close us out because I want to be respectful of your time. But y'all are in here and I appreciate y'all. All right. All right. So, hey, Randy. Randy says 24-25 has been rough. The situation weren't pleasant at all. However, those processes birthed the new version, the new visions, and the reality of how important I am to me. Oh, Miranda. Miranda needs me too. That's real. Candace says, I feel you. I was once told at the doctor that I was obese and I was highly offended. I'm telling you, it will change your whole attitude. I start to get my purse and walk out. And I was like, wait, what else you got to say, doc? The Queen Vita, you said something. I have to work out, and doing that, I eat better versus nutritious focus. Yes. Sorry, I was reading. Let me read her whole comment for those of you all who won't see it. Yes, you said something. I have to work out. And in doing that, I eat better versus nutrition focused first. Yes. Alicia says, I hope it's not Alicia. I'm sorry if it's Alicia or Alicia. I had psyched myself out that I couldn't complete a full 3-day water fast. And I feel amazing. So glad I challenged myself. So your whole identity of what you can and can't do has completely shifted. So build upon that and say, wow, if I can do a 3-day fast, what else can I do? Now that my identity of what I can do has changed, what else in my life needs to be uprooted and changed and thrown away and gotten rid of and adjusted? What else? Chantry says, thank you so much. And yes, you were pronouncing my name correctly. Okay, great. All right. Let me close this out and then give you the housekeeping notes. So stay for the housekeeping, y'all, because that's just as important. All right. So we talked about what's holding you back. We talked about who is the person that you need to become to achieve those goals. Here's the thing. Goals achieved from identity last longer than the goals achieved from willpower. Willpower is only going to take you so far. My dog is going to bark because we have a delivery. Willpower is only going to take you so far. But when you think about how you identify and what that means and who you are, it's going to take you a lot farther than I'm going to muster up the strength to go to the gym 5 days a week and I hate being here every day. Versus if the goal is to move my body, I can do that anyway. If the goal is to be consistent, I can be consistent by doing something that I look forward to doing. Like some days I don't want to go in that dark gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'll sleep in and go to my Legree class, or I'll go to my Pilates class, or I'll go outside and walk. Like I'll sleep in and I'll go outside and walk. Obviously, certain times of the year you can't do that. Like times like this time of year, you can't do that. But you got to figure out, like, I've had enough. I've had enough of this one thing. I can still be consistent. I can still reach my goals. I can still be committed to myself. I can still be a healed person doing the things, because sometimes it's not just fitness and nutrition. It's like the inner work that we need to do on ourselves, right? Like I always got an attitude. I mean, not me. That's an example. I know how you could be confused, right? But sorry guys. Sorry, my connection got lost. You could say that you are a person who has an attitude, right? And your goal could be, I don't want to have an attitude anymore. Well, but you still identify with a person who has an attitude. So when you are thinking about your attitude, your goal should be, I want to heal. Because in the healing process, I don't know why that example just came in my head, but it's for someone. But if you want to be a healed person, your attitude will take care of itself. So, goals achieved from identity last longer than goals achieved from willpower. Last but not least, 2 questions I want to leave you with. Randy Graham Fam says that example was for me. Listen, that was not in my notes. I promise you, that was not in my notes. The Holy Spirit just said, use this as an example. Because I am an obedient person, I used to say, oh my God, I don't want to offend nobody. Oh my God, I don't want to say that because I don't want them to think that I XYZ. And when you say things from a genuine, authentic place, and in my case, in obedience, I release whatever comes out of it, because I know it was from a place of obedience. I know that it's from a good heart and a good space. So I'm grateful that she shared that was for her, and she may or may not be the only one, but I just love that. Okay, so let me close this out. Randy says, just the frustrations of daily life and putting me last has caused me to develop an attitude. And that is so real. Okay, so real quick. External forces have caused this defense mechanism. So I am going to block myself. I am going to shut off myself. I'm going to shut down, be defensive, be attitudinal, reject you before you have the chance to reject me. Because I'm unable to communicate my expectations, I become frustrated, and then I take it out on, most times, people who don't deserve it. So the goal of not having an attitude thrown out the window, I want to heal my inner woman, my inner girl. I want to learn how to give more space to empower other people to do things that I don't necessarily have to do, and release myself of it not being perfect because I'm not doing it. And a lot of times I'm like, I am a recovering addict when it comes to, I can do it better than you. Because especially with the girls, like my husband will say, oh, I'll do their hair. Don't touch their hair. Oh, I'll get them dressed. Don't get them dressed. Because if they come out the house looking crazy, people always look at the mama. Oh, why she having babies out the house looking like that? It's me. So I'm like, I'll just do it. I'll do it. And the reality of the situation is they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And when you have, thank you, Ashley. Ashley says, Lady Lynnette is teaching us today. Yeah, we're all, Leslie guilty, Alicia guilty, true. They always look at the mamas, right? But what that does, it does a few things. Number one, it robs the other person of the opportunity to learn how to do it, because we all had to learn how to do something the first time. Certain things come innate to certain people and some things don't. But if you're really good at what you do, you can teach somebody else how to do it. So I took it as an opportunity to say, okay, babe, you do it. And then once it's done, I can say, hey, you know, one of the things that I like to do is I like to get them involved in picking out their outfits, because I like to dress them alike. So, you know, do you have this, Skylar? Do you have this, Zion? Yes. The one particular time I'm thinking about, they came out and they were not dressed alike, and I had a fit. I'm like, why don't you guys have on the same outfit? And they were like, I don't know. We're clean. We took a bath. I'm like, yes, but you're not dressed alike. And I'm like, it almost was like an instant like correction to myself. Like, girl, who cares? Just because you always dress them alike and he didn't, doesn't mean that he didn't do a good job. Doesn't mean that he didn't follow your list of instructions about to brush their teeth before they wash their face, to put Aquaphor on their face and Vaseline on their lips, to use this type of gel and this type of rubber band. Girl, they're not dressed alike. Get over it. And I had to get over it. And so, but when you release that perfectionism, because it's a form of perfectionism, it's going to unlock so many other areas in your life, and it's going to give you the opportunity to breathe and say, you know what? It's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not me, but it's still okay. All right, so 2 questions I want to leave you with. What is one insight about identity that you are taking with you based on our conversation today? Thank you, Alicia. She says, wow, this is so good. Thank you. It's good because of y'all. It's good because, Phyllis says OCD, ugh. It's good because you all are seeing yourselves, which is the whole reason why we do these conversations. It's the whole aha moments that I live for. Cheryl says, thanks so much for taking time to do this. This is what I do. I know y'all see me, you know, on Instagram talking about good morning and this is this workout, but this is the work that I love to do. Fitness is just easy content to film and kind of get my message out there about Operation Sexy Body and getting up, getting active and doing something for yourself and staying committed. Like, that's the mechanism. So my goal is to be authentic and dedicated and consistent. And in that messaging, it comes in different forms. One young lady, I can't remember who it was today, said, oh my gosh, you were so inspiring. That wasn't my goal. I'm so grateful that it came off to her that way, that I'm inspiring. I'm glad that you all say that you guys enjoy. Leslie says, I loved being here. Dorsha says, I see me, good and challenges, making me think about what I want to be and what I need to do to become her. That is, I mean, I just love it. Like, I absolutely love it, because at a time in my life, and it was birthed from a time in my life where I was at my lowest. I was obese. I had no idea how to not be fat. Everybody around me is like, girl, you look good. You look fine. That's another thing. People in your life will enable you to be the most unhealthy version of yourself, despite you screaming from the mountaintops that you want something different. They'll invite you to dinner. They'll invite you to go out for drinks. They'll invite you to stay out all night, knowing that you have goals to be more fit and to be more healthy. What I look like my cortisol levels all stressed out because I got home late and can't work out. Now I'm at work all day. Now I'm tired. Now I can't work out. And now I'm just going to eat my feelings. That's the cycle that I was in. I ended up bursting out of my pants at work. It is not a game, because I had gained so much weight and I was lying to myself. That's a whole nother story about lying to yourself about things. But anyway. All right. So Final reflections. Y'all stop talking to me. I'm just kidding. Please keep talking to me. Okay, so final reflections and then housekeeping, and I'm gonna let you guys go. What is one insight about identity that you're taking with you today based on our conversation? You do not have to comment, but I would love for you to think about it and comment if you desire. And then the second question is, how might this shift in your 2026 planning? So question number one, what is one insight about identity that you're taking with you today from our conversation? And then number two, how might this shift show you how to approach 2026? Because we're still early. We still have the opportunity to do this work, and we still have the opportunity to consciously shift the identity that we have of ourselves. And another thing too, like the identity that we have for ourselves and how we show up, that's how other people have classified us. So there will come a time where a reclassification will be necessary for the people in your life. And it could be difficult because people see you as this person. And when you're not that person anymore, when you have evolved, when you have shifted, when you have elevated, it can be difficult to re-identify with those people in the same way. But that's another conversation for another time. All right, so your identity is not fixed. It is the blueprint that you get to design. And how wonderful is that we get to design who we want to be. How we identify is totally up to us. The authenticity and the knowledge that we are whomever we desire to be is so empowering. Leslie says, I loved what you said about loyalty. I have to be loyal to creating and keeping my goals. Yeah. Your friends want you to be loyal. That job that you get paid for and get your check every week or every 2 weeks or once a month or whatever, they want you to be loyal. They want you to show up on time. They want you to log in, clock in, swipe in, whatever. They want you to do that. And you remain loyal to them. But when it comes to yourself, we can just not be loyal and it be okay. No, it's not okay. Because once health is gone, it is hell trying to get it back. You do not want to be on the other end of trying to regain something that you have full control over and lost. So those days when I do not feel like getting up, I'm like watch night, Thursday night. I woke up Friday. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to get up. But I said, no, because there are a lot of things I don't feel like doing, but I do them. So this should be no different. Yeah, you want people to be loyal to you. And you just throw yourself to the side whenever you feel like it. Oh, it's too difficult. I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. I don't want to put the time in to figure out what fitness regimen and nutrition regimen balance I need. I don't feel like reading ingredients. I don't feel like cooking my own food. Okay. But we have to know that since we are identifying with, I don't feel like it, there are going to be consequences and repercussions. All right, so let me get to housekeeping. Thank you guys for all of your comments and participation. I'm super excited about it. All right, so housekeeping. So our monthly chats, I originally said that the chats would be on the first Saturday of every month. I was going through the calendar and I'm like, oh, that Saturday may not be good because of this, and this. So what I will commit to, thank you, Margaret. Margaret says, thank you for this great discussion, thought-provoking, perfect for starting 2026. Yay. All right, so what I will commit to is on the first of every single month, I will post what day our conversation will be on and what platform. I really want to get y'all to YouTube. When I'm on YouTube, 3 people look at me. I can do the same conversation and 3 people will watch it on replay. I'll be talking to myself for an hour. So if you have not subscribed to YouTube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. The link is in my bio, or you can go to YouTube and go to OperationSexyBody, and that's sexy with the Y, and just subscribe. Turn on your notifications, because that's where we're going to have our next conversation, because I'm really trying to grow that platform. I think it's a better platform for conversations like this, again, because your comments stay and longer than live. And then plus, if you come in late and you want to watch and replay, you can't really. So all right, so the first of every month will be announced February 1st. Mark your calendar. I will announce where it will be and what day and what time. The committed sweatshirt. So a lot of you guys are like, oh my gosh. So I'm extending the sale, the 10% off sale for the month of January. I took off really the last 2 weeks of December due to travel, the holidays, and things like that. So some of you all are like, hey, I am interested in these Operation Sexy Body sweatshirts. So this is the committed sweatshirt. I do not have any more mediums. I just have a few smalls. I have tons of extra larges. And a few larges. So if you are interested, just DM me, and I'll kind of give you can kind of tell me what you want, the color combo. So I have red and white. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. But don't go nowhere, because I got 2 more announcements. I got red and white. I have pink and black, pink and white, and red and black. Okay. The OSB Workroom is my private accountability group that I start at the beginning of every year. It will start at the top of February. The largest group that I've had is 7. So I used to do 10, and 10 was just way too much just for me. So the private accountability group is called the OSB Workroom, and it is a space where we do work like this. We have conversations daily. I mean, it's not like this daily, but we check in every day with each other. I do it on a video messaging app called Marco Polo. Some of you all may be familiar with it. It is a free app that I use, but we talk every single day. We set goals. We have conversations like this. And the first conversation that we're going to have is a deep dive into identity. I always like to start off with something like this in our private group. So even though we went kind of deep today, we're going to go even deeper on that first conversation. And so we meet once or twice a month, depending on how many people are in the group. And we'll meet in a private group outside of Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. We'll meet in a private group, usually on Microsoft Teams or Google Meet or something like that. And it'll just be like us in the group and having a conversation. It's either a 3 or a 6 month commitment. I have 80 to 90% of the people that I start with for that first month go at least 9 months. And I know you're like, girl, like, I don't want to commit to that. But I offered the 3 and 6 months because I used to do it month to month, but it's just not enough time to really get to look how much progress we made today in an hour, right? Like, you can't do that type of deep work within a month with people. So it's either 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. After the 6 month, you can go month to month, but most times people will say, hey, listen, I'm going to commit to another 3 months. After the 6 months, we do have a mini graduation. The 9 months is like a full graduation. So if you are interested in the workroom and a little bit more insight about what the workroom is, there is a link in my bio that talks about workroom FAQs, and I recorded it last year. My hair is different, so you'll see that, but it is very accurate and still very up to date. And I'm working on 5 to 7 ladies that will be in the group this time. Again, 10 was too much. We did it, but it was a lot of work on me because I like to make it highly interactive. Again, we talk every single day, and it's a great way to just further the bond of sisterhood and the commitment that we have to ourselves. So it's kind of like a life coaching / fitness nutrition-y life group, if you will. But the video in my bio will tell you all about that. And last but not least, I want to tell you something I'm excited about. So for so long, I have been working on this website. I've been trying to do it myself, and I finally hired somebody to do it. So hopefully by the end of this month, I will have my Operation Sexy Body website, and I would really be excited if you guys could like go visit and kind of play around and kind of let me know what you guys think about it. It has been a long time coming, and I'm super excited about it. So But I will let you guys know and keep you guys up to date. So with the OSB workroom conversation, I will be posting when it is open. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, have I missed it? But I will be doing that within the next couple of weeks. The first week of January, people ain't really paying attention to Instagram anyway like that. So kids are still out of school. People are still out of, trying to balance life and work and gym and new goals and things like that. So usually like the second or third week is when I start kind of like announcing how to get in, first come, first serve kind of thing. So, all right, guys. Again, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for staying here for the entire time. This was not as it was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I am so grateful that you are here and that you stayed. And think about identity. What's an insight about your identity that you'll take with you today, and what is shifting based on the conversation that we had today? Okay. Ashley says coming in hot in 2026. That's right. All right, guys, have a great Saturday. Bye.